Did you ever think that you could possibly travel for almost a week to LA with just 2 personal items? Well, I'm here to tell you I did it last week and I had a wonderful time. I traveled from my little tiny regional airport all the way to LAX, and I packed a wonderful capsule wardrobe that took me from day to night and multiple weather conditions to perfectly work for this trip. So I'm first coming in this wonderful hotel room to tell you all about my trip, and unfortunately my video was not working properly. So the sound is terrible and I'm doing this wonderful voiceover. And if you're here for the first time, my name is Natalie. I'm a decorative and restoration artist turned travel vlogger, and I teach women how to pack with purpose. And we have really small and succinct capsule wardrobes that are from 6 to 10 items. And today's wardrobe is 10 items. And I show you how to pack light and perfectly so that you can enjoy your trip without having to worry about managing too many personal belongings. So today I do have a Scotty vest with me. In this video, I'm wearing a Scotty vest trench coat, or I came in with one. I did take that on this trip. We had cool weather when I was leaving my small regional airport, and when I return, it's supposed to be raining cats and dogs, so I'm really glad that I had my Scotty vest jacket with me. And I'm also using a turtle neck pillow, which I will talk about in a future video. I'm loving that. The tote bag that I'm wearing crossbody is called an everything bag, which I believe may be a precursor to what we now know as travel-on bags. But I really like that bag. I haven't used it in a while and I decided to use it for this trip. I am also using a travel-on waist pack, fanny pack, crossbody, sling bag, whatever you want to call it. And when I was on the flight or when I was boarding the plane, I would actually take that off and put it in my tote bag because you're not allowed to have a third item. And then my star of the show, my very small rolling suitcase, is by London Fog. And I did get that at TJ Maxx at the end of last year, and I haven't seen others in a while, and I cannot find this exact suitcase on Amazon. However, I will be showing you some other links. You can see how well it fit under the seat because I was flying in a regional airplane, so unfortunately we don't even really have proper overhead bin space, so you have to be able to put your largest bag under the seat. And then I did put the everything bag, which I was using as my tote, in the overhead bin, and that did work perfectly for this trip. So there are a few other things that I will mention that I will, as we're going through this video, I will show you in the description links to the items that I'm really loving right now. And I will be able to actually link a few other suitcases that would work like they work in my situation in my regional airport. So please look for those in the description below. Now, as far as to tell you about the process of this video, it is a little long, but I think you'll be happy with the results because I'm providing a lot of value and a lot of information here. So the first part is this voiceover. The second part, I delve right into my capsule wardrobe. And the third part is going to be a little bit of a commercial break where I show you how to wear a new cardigan, a different cardigan, about 5 or 6 different ways. And then after that brief commercial break, I do a live styling of what I'm wearing to the Getty Museum and kind of show you how I work through as I'm putting my outfit together for that particular day. We'll come back for a second video where I will give you the rundown of all of my outfits for the trip, and hopefully we'll have a little bit more information for you then as well. So without further ado, let's dive into this video and get things started. Well, hello there. I'm back to talk with you about the capsule wardrobe that I've put together for this trip to LA. So I'm here for 6 days and I have
a 3-day conference, which is, it's a mix of things. And so I am supposed to have comfortable clothing. Not sure what that means, maybe for like stretching or something like that. I'm not really sure, but I'm supposed to have comfortable clothing. Put on the list that we could bring a bathing suit, which I did. Not really sure if I'll wear that or not. And then the last thing is that we're supposed to have a group picture and we're supposed to wear all white. So I had to bring something that was white, not my favorite travel color at all. So leading up to this trip, and this is really what I do all the time, and I use any kind of paper to do this. I happen to put this in the journal that I'm working in right now, but what I do is I look out and I get my weather temperature readings, highs and lows for the day of the week, if there's going to be rain, whatever. Now, if you aren't able to go out past 1 week, let's say you want to try to plan 3 or 4 weeks ahead, Google what is the weather in LA during March and April, and you'll get a range, because weather pretty much repeats itself. So based on the season of the year. So it's a really easy way to kind of get an idea so that you can start your planning. And weather and the events that you're attending are always the very first thing that you need to kind of look at before you can even put a capsule wardrobe together. So what I also noted was that this is more of like sweater weather. Light rain is anticipated, and then I probably need to have a jacket or outerwear. Now, I did bring my Scotty vest trench coat, and I'm anticipating that I would have to have that, and it is supposed to be pouring the rain when I return to Tennessee. So I knew that getting out of the airport late at night and having to walk to my car in long-term parking, I wanted to have proper rain wear and not have to fool around with an umbrella and whatever else. So the trench coat actually has a zippered collar that has a hood inside. So if worse comes to worse, then I do have the proper weather appropriate attire. So I did plan for that. And then also, as you probably know, having a Scotty vest is a great extra bag of sorts, because if you're, you may have some things that you want to have with you at your seat, and it's nice to be able to use that jacket, those pockets, as the holding zone for those particular items. The other thing that I did then was I started planning out my outfits, knowing that I was going to have either a white dress, a white top, and a white bottom of some sort. So I did end up going through everything I had, and I chose something that was just more of a natural white, so kind of a slightly off white. And you'll see that in a minute, where I selected a button down, almost like a shacket, I guess, a shirt jacket, as well as a linen kind of shorter off-white skirt that I actually showed in my most popular capsule wardrobe video, which I think has been viewed over at this point in time like 17,000 times. So totally crazy. But that skirt is also featured in that video. But so let's kind of dive into what I've done here. I wanted you to see how I pack the one side of my suitcase. The tiny suitcase that I have is 18 by 14 by 8, including the wheels. So it's even smaller than takeoff luggage, and it's by London Fog. I don't know where you can buy it yet. I'm still doing research to see if I can provide links for you. But when I pack a suitcase of any sort, I personally prefer the clamshell or butterfly style. I feel like with all the kind of little things and compartmentalization that I do, that works better for me than just the top loading kind. So with that in mind, I'll kind of go over a couple of things with you. Number one is that center cavity where the handle is on the one side of the luggage, where you have kind of those channels or divots or whatever you want to call it, where the handle actually goes, and it's kind of an awkward place of where do you pack or what do you pack in there? Well, I love packing ballet flats in a shoe bag. Now these are Anne Klein Sport. If I can find a link for them, I will. And this shoe bag is so tiny. I mean, it is super tiny. I got this in a set with some other packing cubes probably 10 years ago. And I still use this because it kind of compresses. Like, I couldn't put a pair of tennis shoes in here. No, I take that back. My Adidas, the Adidas that I took with me to San Francisco actually fit in here, but that's because they squish down so small. But look at how tiny this is and how compact it is. And it fits perfectly down in that center handle channel on the side of the luggage that has the handle. And what happens then is I'm able to put all these other small packing cubes then on top of that flat surface. So wherever I have the shoes, then on the other two sides, I'll use like a hairbrush or a small flat iron to kind of fit down inside of those divots, and it works perfectly. And then I'm able to pack all my capsule wardrobe, underclothes, scarves, everything can be in that one section. Something else important to mention is that while I love compression packing cubes because it really does compress everything and kind of keep everything in a very kind of tight, small area of space. Now there is some flexibility here, and you can tell that there's a little bit of squish to it because it's not packed really tightly. But what I really like is something like this, where it is, even though I have things in here, it's not packed so full that I can't kind of maneuver things and kind of pack things in there tightly with the various shapes that I'm using. But this kind of a setup, and I think these are even kids packing cubes. They're really tiny. These are a TJ Maxx find. And with such an extensive capsule wardrobe that I had to kind of design because of all the things that I'm going to be doing while I'm here, I'm grateful that I was able to figure out a 10-piece capsule wardrobe. Now, one of the items that may almost be an 11th item, but is I do have a merino wool undershirt that I can wear with other things, but I wouldn't wear it by itself because it's quite thin and it's a lighter color, so I'm not really comfortable with that. But you'll see how I incorporate that into the full capsule wardrobe. With the weather being what it is right now, so it's going to be maybe high 40s and then mid 70s while I'm here. And also some things will probably be indoors and some of it will be outdoors. I'm not really sure how to dress for the conference because I don't want to be cold. No one likes to be cold in a meeting room because then you can't actually focus on what you're doing, and or too hot. So I brought things that I could really layer. And when you're bringing things that you're layering, one of the main things to think about is necklines. So I have this kind of shawl collar neckline on the cardigan I'm wearing. And then the other necklines of my other layering pieces are also similar, so that all of my tops and layering tops can kind of all fit together perfectly. Now, I do want to show you the other pair of shoes that I brought with me, and these were my travel day shoes. You may think I'm crazy, but these are by BOC, and I will try to find a link for something very similar, but this is just kind of a wedge heel Mary Jane, and they are leather, and I can actually wear my compression socks with these. And the compression socks that I have kind of a cute pattern on the surface. So I really think that it looks cute even with socks. Not that that's something that I would probably wear on a regular basis, and now that I'm in California, I took my socks off because I'm no longer on the plane. But the nice thing about this pair of shoes is that they are comfortable enough and versatile enough that I can wear them on a travel day. I can walk
100 miles in these. Well, maybe not 100, but I can walk a good distance. I wouldn't even be opposed to wearing these in Europe. I don't know about like a severe cobblestone street type area, maybe not, but somewhere in a city that has more sidewalks or things like that, I wouldn't be opposed to wearing these at all because they're very supportive and they're very comfortable. So let's dive into this capsule wardrobe. So my first packing cube has my under things, and with these particular shoes, I do like wearing these kind of like half socks. They're like toe socks, and I find that they do help with perspiration and potential blisters, rubbing, or something like that if I'm going to be walking more distances. So I did bring 2 sets of those, which I can wash out easily in the sink. I did bring 3 pairs of undies plus the one that I'm wearing, and I do have a backup pair of underwear that I always carry with me on my person during my travel day in the event that they have to take my luggage. So I do have I guess that's 5 pairs of underwear. And I also brought with me a bodysuit because I do have a dress that you'll see shortly. So I'll set all these things over here. And they all fit in these little tiny packing cubes, and these are kids packing cubes, and I've talked about these before. I have the full set of this, and I will put a link to those. I really, really like these packing cubes because it also helps me to kind of pack small, literally. The third packing cube that comes with this in a set is actually kind of chubbier, and it almost looks like a train case makeup bag. And what I find is it's too tall sometimes to fit in this smaller suitcase. So I opted for a compression packing cube instead. So now let's talk some of the capsule pieces. So this is a long duster, and so it has no ties or buttons or anything like that. It has this kind of shawl neckline, and it's very thin, and I don't know if you can tell how thin it is, but it's very, very thin, but it comes down on me like mid-calf. And what I plan to do with this is, if I decide to participate in whatever the swimming or whatever it is, that's going to be my bathing suit cover up, as well as my robe, because I have a very thin cotton, just a very simple, almost like slip style nightgown. And so I feel like this is going to be so versatile, because not only can I wear it with the clothing that I'm wearing, so I could even take this sweater that I'm wearing. And I should mention too, I am wearing my Hue reversible leggings, and I'm wearing the medium pair this time. I almost wish I would have brought the small, but it's okay. It is what it is. I was getting ready, and actually I didn't set my alarm this morning, and so I was literally flying to the airport. So it is cashmere and cotton, and it's just a simple cardigan. It doesn't have pockets, it doesn't have any buttons or anything like that, and it has that kind of shawl collar. But it's so easy to be able to wear. I like wearing black on a travel day. I mean, we had turbulence on the plane, and I just really like wearing black. But I could have easily mixed it up and worn something like this with my simple turtleneck. So this is a merino and cashmere turtleneck. I like the fact that the sleeves are still short sleeve, but there's a little bit more coverage, again, for this time of year. So this is part of the capsule wardrobe. This is part of the capsule wardrobe, and my Hue reverse leggings are part of this capsule wardrobe. So now you've seen my duster that also doubles as my robe, another layering piece, and as well as a bathing suit cover up if that is necessary. And let me see what else. Okay, here's part of my white outfit. Let's see. So I am also bringing, you know, I wanted to bring something that was heavier weight and black, but then something that might be cooler in case any of our meetings were going to be in the outdoors at all. So this is a linen, kind of a boxy shirt. It's slightly boxy, but very comfortable. And, you know, I talk a lot about being able to do sink laundry or washing out, doing your laundry in your room. And this is a great, any type of natural fabrics, like the cashmere and the wool, like linen, that is a synthetic. The animal print duster is a synthetic, but then the black cardigan that I was wearing today is cashmere and cotton. And so all of these things, it's possible to hand wash them in your sink if you wanted to. And frankly, with this 10-piece wardrobe, I could travel for 6 weeks with this, you know, not just 6 days. And I think that's the beauty of what really I'm doing as I create these capsule wardrobes is I'm pulling things together in such a way that everything really mixes and matches beautifully. You know, I do a lot of curating of the wardrobes that I put together, and it's totally with purpose because I'm creating them so that I don't get bored with what I'm wearing. So like, for instance, the way I used to pack was packing outfits, right? I'm gonna wear this shirt and this top together, or this bottoms together and this thing together, and I'm gonna wear this dress. And then I'd get somewhere and then I'd think, you know, I don't really like the way I look in that today. Or, you know, it's not really comfortable to wear that today. And so what I found was packing with these outfits was not what I wanted to do with my wardrobe or even with my own personal style, because every day you kind of wake up in a different mood, or maybe you visit a city and you see how other people are dressed. So you're kind of inspired by that and you think, oh, I wonder if I could mix and match that other thing that I have. So all sorts of things are kind of going on in my head as a creative. And so that's how I've come up with these pieces. All right, this is the linen. This is from Target. Actually, this is their, is it Merona? Yeah. This is a Target Merona skirt. And this was in my previous capsule wardrobe video. And yes, it's a bit wrinkly, but I know that I do have the wrinkle releaser, and also even spraying it with just a little bit of water is really helpful, and just kind of shaking it and letting it dry overnight and, you know, hung up works really, really well. But to be honest, for being in a packing cube for how many days leading up to my trip, this really didn't do too bad. Neither did that black linen top. Now, the topper that I'm using to wear with that linen skirt is a shacket, a shirt jacket, but it's made very much like a denim jacket. And it has kind of the breast pockets, and it's even kind of fitted at the bottom. And so now this is a little bit worse for wear, I think, and it might be too because I really kind of hard folded it in place. But anyway, this is the jacket that I will wear with that skirt as my white outfit. And the other thing is, I did bring this wool, merino wool undershirt. This is Red Ram. This is vintage. I mean, this is ancient, and it's not exactly the right color, but again, if the weather is cold, or if I'm inside in a meeting room and I'm cold, I want to make sure that I have the necessary things with me so that I can actually stay warm. And then lastly, no, not lastly, in this packing cube, the last thing in this packing cube is a Uniqlo merino wool V-neck cardigan sweater. And this is one of those workhorse items because when I'm attending a conference, the other thing that
I have struggled with in the past is when I'm actually traveling for fun or for research or to visit museums and things like that, I'm able to really kind of slow travel. I mean, sure, I want to get up early in the morning and go see the Statue of David, or I want to make sure that I'm first in line for whatever, wherever I'm going. But I also build in time into my schedule where I can do laundry if necessary. But when I'm attending an event, my schedule is really dictated by the event itself. So I like bringing some merino wool pieces, and you notice that these go together very well. I'm not sure that you can even tell, which is which, but if I had to outfit repeat, having some merino wool pieces actually really is helpful because I don't quite have enough items to not rewear something. But like with my wool and cashmere sweater, I'll be able to hang this out to air dry, and I spritz things with an alcohol, and that really helps kind of refresh. And the same for something like this. So this is kind of one of those workhorse items that I've got in the wardrobe that will really help me if I have to outfit repeat. Okay, I have 2 packing cubes. I believe this is a scarf and a bathing suit, and I'll get to that in a minute. And then this, I have those, these are, I think they're Spanx, but they're undershorts, that these are actually to wear with the skirt, because I didn't know if we would, because they were talking about, being able to move in whatever you're bringing to wear. And I'm thinking, okay, so what does that mean? Are we gonna be doing yoga or something? So I brought some shorts to wear under my skirt that day just to make sure that I'm covered. Okay, I do have a full slip to wear with. I did bring, and notice how tiny this folds up. Can you see? Like, this is thinner than an ice cream sandwich, okay? And it is a silk dress, and it's so light. The fabric is very thin. It's a very boxy shape, kind of similar to the linen top that I just showed you. But this is black, it is silk, and I'm actually gonna wear this to the museum tomorrow, but then I'm also going to have it in the event that we have to go to dinner, or we have the opportunity to go to dinner after one of the events. I thought it would be really nice to have a nice dress to be able to wear. And then thinking about layering, I can wear the sweater that I wore today for my travel day, that shawl cardigan. I could wear that with this. And the shawl cardigan is wonderful because you can wear it 3 or 4 different ways. So you can just wear it long. You can also wear it tied here in the front, which I think I had it like that when I started this video. I had it kind of tied in the front. The other thing is you can put it on upside down, so it shortens the cardigan, and which looks really great with this dress because it kind of defines my waist. When this dress is kind of wider and boxy, it kind of gives a really nice shape to that. So having a cardigan like that, there's just so many options available that you may kind of not think about on a normal basis, but yet it extends your wardrobe. And another way to wear that is to actually belt it. I did bring a very narrow little belt with me, so you can belt it either in the front, or you can wear it backwards and belt it backwards, and the same thing. And so that's 5 different ways to wear a cardigan that is pretty simplistic, right? So many choices. Okay, my last wardrobe item is, you've seen this before. I did a video when I went to Richmond, Virginia in the wintertime. This is a very thin merino wool turtleneck, and it's a caramel color, and it's really pretty, but a nice neutral with kind of all of these colors that I have. And again, I wanted something that I could layer, but would also be warm, and if I had to wardrobe repeat, if I had to wear something twice, I could wear this twice and not have to worry about odors or just feeling mingy or yucky. And because, as you probably know, merino wool is antimicrobial, so it does not stink, does not carry those body odors and things that, of course, even those of us who bathe on a regular basis, you still sometimes have issues with your clothing not smelling fresh. But merino wool, I have found, does a really great job at keeping everything fresh in your wardrobe. The last thing I'd like to show you are the scarves that I brought with me. I have this little tiny scarf, and I usually tie this on my purse. So I did bring that with me. I have this, you've seen it before. This is a square silk. It is Italian. It's very thin, but it's really nice to wear if you're maybe just a little chilly, want something around your neck, or just want a splash of color to kind of change something up. And this goes really beautifully with all of the colors that I have selected in my wardrobe. This is another kind of fun scarf. This is oblong. It has some natural fibers in it, but it also has metallic. And again, it's all these pretty colors that are already in the wardrobe, and I just love having something that's kind of fun to wear. I do have a black bathing suit, so that'll go great with my animal print duster. And then I have a travel scarf. This is by Eddie Bauer, I believe. And it's one of those that has a zipper pocket in it. And while I wouldn't put my passport or anything like that in it, I like having this scarf because if I could just put like a Starbucks gift card or even some cash and just have another place that I, have that, even be able to put my room key in, I really like that. And this scarf you can also wear it as a ruana. So like a small jacket, because it has 2 little armholes in it, which is also fun. And then the last item, last but not least, is this pashmina. And it is, again, all the right colors, all the things that I have with me. It matches beautifully with all of those things. And I did actually wear this morning when I was leaving Tennessee because it was pretty chilly, and I had this one in my bag. And when I got to Dallas Fort Worth, I switched to this one because the pashmina was just a little bit too warm. So I was able to kind of roll it up and put it down in my everything bag. So that's the capsule wardrobe. And it looks like my microphone has been failing. I am not sure what's going on. They were charged. So hopefully you're able to hear all of this. I plan to now be able to kind of film all of my outfits that I put together for you. And I will actually be in a different hotel at that point. I'm staying near the airport right now. And then I'll be closer, or I'll be at across the street from my event space and in the next part of the video. So where I'll be showing you my kind of outfits of the day and how I put all of these outfits together based on what I find out when I get there and kind of how I prepare for my days. And also a lot of this I think will change once I get used to the meeting space and the 3 days that I'm there and kind of know how to dress accordingly. So probably the first day I'll actually take maybe an extra sweater or cardigan with me and dress in layers again, just to make sure that I have what I need to be comfortable. And then the Tuesday and Wednesday part of the event, I'll be much more adept at figuring out what I have to do for the day. So thanks for being here as usual. And if you don't mind, I would really appreciate it if you're not a subscriber, please click that subscribe button as well as the like button. And you know what would be really helpful is if you share this with a friend, because I hope that they would benefit from my packing tips and tricks as well. Okay, so let's roll into the next part of this video. Okay, this is just kind of a commercial break to show you how I can wear this kind of longer
cardigan that has like a shawl neckline. It does not have buttons. There are no pockets. It's made from cotton and a little bit of cashmere, and it's fairly lightweight, but it's quite warm, and it's a great layering piece. And it has a great shape the way it is. I wore it today for my travel day with a short sleeve turtleneck cashmere black sweater, and it was wonderful. But let me show you a couple of other ways that you can wear this. So number one is you can wear it as it is, but number two is you can actually belt this. And I did bring a small, very narrow belt with me. This is old, very old Brighton. And if you had as I do now, a camisole underneath, I think it would be great, and it looks very cute. And a little bit more fashionable because you're kind of bringing in the waist. You can kind of futz around more with the way the neckline works, and perhaps even the way this kind of comes down on your trousers or whatever bottoms you happen to be wearing. So that's number two. You can also turn it around backwards and do the same thing. So that would be three. And then you can also, because of the length on this, and you may have seen this or noticed it when I first came in the hotel room, I think this is how I had it tied. So it's really cute to wear this in just a tied front. I mean, it's not exactly figure flattering from the side because it's kind of bunched up, fabric, but I do like it. I feel like it's comfortable and it's not kind of hanging. It's much closer to your body. It's potentially, you could actually kind of along those same lines, maybe if you were wearing a skirt, I'm not sure how this would work with pants, but you could even probably pull this tighter and even tuck it in. I've seen people do that with a white shirt before, so that's also another option. So where you could actually tuck this into the pants that you're wearing. I'm not sure this would work with these leggings because I think it would be bunched up underneath, but like if you had a pair of denim jeans or a longer skirt, I bet that would work really great to almost make a top out of this instead of just a cardigan. Now, another favorite way to wear this is upside down. Wait, it's not that one, it's this one. And what this does is it shortens the long cardigan. And I think I mentioned to you, when I wear my black silk dress tomorrow, I'm kind of torn between this and wearing that animal print. But look at how cute this is. It's just below the waist. It kind of creates a waist in the back. And because of the way this shawl collar is cut, you don't see a weird collar in the back. It looks like it was meant to be worn like this. I love it. And I suppose, again, maybe you could tuck this down into your pants and this would work a lot better. In fact, let's try. I'm just afraid you're gonna be able to see it bunched up. You can, because the leggings are not as forgiving. You can kind of see a whole lot. But I believe if I had a pair of jeans or a more structured skirt, I bet you wouldn't be able to tell. All right, let's see. Well, that's not too bad. It makes me look like I gained about 5 or 10 pounds, but I mean, just for the sake of showing. There's all sorts of things you can do. And I think that's the fun. The fun of curating a wardrobe is figuring out all the different ways that you can actually wear something. And so, I don't think that looks terrible. I would feel really cute wearing those heeled Mary Janes with this, but I'd also feel great wearing the ballet flats. So anyway, that's your commercial break. Back to our regularly scheduled broadcast. Okay, good morning. I'm getting myself together to get out of the hotel room so that I can go to the Getty Museum. And so I wanted to show you my fit check this morning. So I am wearing the black silk dress
I am wearing a necklace that is freshwater pearls and sterling beads and my kind of standard sterling huggy style earrings. And it is cold today, so it's, well, cool. And it's overcast, which means it will be cooler. And most of what I'm going to be doing today is going to be indoors, but I may be outdoors somewhat because I'll probably be walking back and forth to my hotel and the meeting hotel because people are arriving. So I'll probably head that direction tonight after I finish the Getty. So with that in mind, I am wearing the Mary Jane kind of wedge heel. I feel like I'm going to be super comfortable in these. The Getty, actually, the property has some beautiful gardens, and from what I can tell, you can actually take a picnic lunch and take photographs and whatever. I'm sad it's overcast today, but I'm really hoping that I'll still be able to take some great pictures and enjoy my time in the garden. And I am going to wear today, I'm bringing with me my pashmina. And I think that's going to be extremely helpful because it's cold. So that will help keep me a little bit warmer. And then additionally, I told you that I was going to show you the difference of wearing my cardigan either as a full-length cardigan and then showing you what it looks like to switch it up upside down. So I'm going to stop the video now and then show you how I put that together. Okay, so this is how I wore the cardigan yesterday. So I wore it as the full-length cardigan, and it has this kind of shawl neckline. And well, I love black, and I really, going to such a beautiful and prestigious museum, my heart as an artist, I want to be respectful, kind of showing respect to the artists that I'm visiting. So I feel like I'm going to a gallery showing, if you will, and that's really why I'm dressed like this. But the silk dress can be worn also if I go out to dinner with my colleagues, and it'll be nice to just have a nicer piece of clothing with me. Now, when you're wearing black, I mean, notice, so this is cashmere and cotton, this is silk, but the texture is great because, you know, I'm wearing multiple textures, so it reflects light differently. And then also I'm brightening this by wearing lighter and shinier jewelry. And then let's try to grab this. I also have this wonderful pashmina to add some color and texture to my look, right? So this looks great, and I'm happy with this. I like this. I feel really good about myself wearing this, and it's pretty and it's warm as well. So now let me show you what it will look like when I turn the cardigan upside down. So notice this line, you know, this is just kind of a straight, almost an A shaped, if you kind of look at my shoulders and then the skirt, the way it comes out, or a rectangle. So it's not super figure flattering. You don't see a lot of curves per se, but let me show you what happens when I turn the cardigan upside down. Okay, now look at how different this looks. It's the same cardigan, I just turned it upside down. The great thing about it is because it has this shawl neckline is you don't see a weird, I don't know if you can see that, you don't see a weird kind of collar line in the back. It just hangs beautifully. And let me see if I can also add this just for visual. Okay, but now look at the difference. There's a break. So you see there is a break in the so it defines my waist, and it actually almost makes it look like I have either a lady jacket on, or it just shows a completely different line. From this direction, it does really more define my waist, or that I have a waist. So this is my fit check for today. This is what I'm wearing to the Getty Museum, and I can't wait to show you the rest of my outfits as the next now 5 days progresses. So bye for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.